Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to this week's Energyscope. This is for the 13th to the 20th of August. I'm Priestess Lily. This week I'm also going to be using the Oracle of Delphi again for the energy that's coming in. If you want to order these, they're actually on my website. They come in at the end of the month. They're an amazing deck of cards that Susie Cherub has birthed into the world. So I've been sitting here meditating about this week, because this week we're going to start to see, we've just ended with the Lion's Gate and the energy of the Lion's Gate. Some of what I was speaking about and channeling forward in the last energy forecast has come through in the collective energy around technology and energy, and seeing a big announcement that might awaken more people to think differently. And we definitely saw that with the announcement here in New Zealand of the $20 billion and the collaboration of the New Zealand government and BlackRock around energy stability, And so it's quite fascinating that, you know, when I start to channel what's coming through, I never at times realize what I'm actually talking about until, you know, I see it on the news and I'm like, I think that might have been the little light bulb that I was talking about. But this week ahead, we have quite a lot of energy shifting and moving into different directions. And we're in the month of Leo, August. And, you know, what's really interesting about this month is that there's 3 supermoons. You know, there was this start of the month, which was a supermoon. We have another, which was a full moon. We have another supermoon on the 16th, which is actually a micro supermoon. And then we end the month with a supermoon. So there's a lot of activity around us as the stars are aligning, and also Earth consciousness is changing in our own inner consciousness. The galactic energy that is very much supporting right now Earth in its transition is very much shining a light on things that need to shift in our collective. As we move into this week on the 16th, 15th, 16th, we have that micro new moon. And that new moon is all about planting seeds. You know, what seeds are you planting to flourish, you know, before the year's out? What are you wanting to co-create and manifest with divine? The energy for the micro new moon is all about co-creation with divine and divine feminine energy. From a collective energy, it is very much about freedom and justice, which are big conversations right now in New Zealand with our political parties because of their election around justice. It is also around, in the collective, speaking your truth. Starting to speak your truth. There will be this week moving forward some revelations. It's about us starting to step more into being more authentic. When I think of truth and justice, what has come through and what Spirit wanted me to speak about was this week in particular, we're really going to see the light shine on Pakistan and India in this coming week, and there's going to be this energy of truth and justice, protection, things coming back into balance. And when I think about Pakistan at the moment, there's a real awakening of energy where their president, I think it's a president over there, it's not a prime minister, has just been like shunted out in the last couple of years. And now, you know, he's going to court, and now there's big court charges, the place is in protest, there's rioting. This is the energy that we're starting to see, that I do think the light is going to be shined a lot more brightly on Pakistan and India, where there could be, you know, I don't want to say there'll be protests. there'll be a lot of that energy because we're moving into, this is the end of this week, because we're moving into that like another layer of that supermoon. So there's the truth and justice energy, and us needing to use our voice and stand in our truth and be strong and get is very much going to start to percolate a lot more in our collective as we move into that last final full moon, super full moon. And that's on the 31st. And the super full moon for the ending of this month, oh, far out, the energy is a bit intense. You know, when we think of super full moons, there's always movement. There's always shifts in the collective. There's always, you know, it's a time for, dare I say it, earthquakes. There's a lot of time for aha moments, surprises coming into the collective. There's going to be an authoritarian energy come down around power and control, where people might start to see things differently that they might not have seen in the last, you know, 12 months is what Spirit's telling me. There's going to be, you know, I spoke in my podcast, what are we gearing up to for the last 6 months? And I spoke about fire. And, you know, we're seeing that right now in definitely the Northern Hemisphere. And I spoke about America and Canada. And I think that this is some of the energy that we're going to start to see, you know, more conversations about heat waves, more conversations about heat waves, more conversations about fires happening. The earth is heating up. That's going to be a bigger conversation. So we better get used to, you know, wildfires. This is going to be a massive solar storms. This is going to be a massive conversation over the next 6 to 8 months in Australia. Massive. And solar storms, solar rays is going to be a bigger conversation over the next 12 to 18 months. New Zealand. Yeah. There's going to be big conversations in the next 2 weeks around farming, around sustainability, around big projects are going to be announced, but with no detail. You know, I think that's what this government's known for, but I feel like it's going to feel like a win-win to pull back in the voters, just to pull back in the voters. There's going to be a lot of promises made, but it's failed content is what Spirit's telling me. And it's very much about to hook us back in to the what ifs and the possibilities. And I really want to say that, you know, when you sit in your authenticity and speak your truth from a grounded perspective, because, you know, Leo energy is all about stepping into the heart and leading from the heart and activating our heart energy. You really need to think about, is this for what is best aligned for us as a collective consciousness in New Zealand, or is this actually what's best aligned for them as government and officials? And, you know, if we're to co-create this new earth of what we're wanting to live in, this is all about the new earth comes from heart energy. 5D consciousness comes from heart energy. Manifesting into 5D consciousness comes from heart energy. Limitless versus power over restricted up and down energy. The last 2 months, I get 2 months. I was going to say 2 weeks, but they were just 2 months. The last 2 months, there's going to be a real stepping forward, a bigger conversation around health and the health of our collective, the health of our people, our mental health and well-being. And we are going to start to see some big dollar spends, is what I'm being told, to be thrown at to be thrown at this problem, collective problem in our country. And once again, it will look like it's going to be delivered, but the bigger problem is we don't have the people, the manpower, the framework to deliver what is being suggested. What I want to have a bigger conversation about, didn't think this is what we we're going to talk about, but anyway, we haven't even got to the cards. We have a lot of people wanting to deliver on things in our collective that are broken, but actually don't have the framework or the people power to deliver the bigger picture. When I think of health and our well-being of our people, someone needs to hear this, the well-being of the people, the reality is it's actually the system, the structure, the systems that are making us sick. You know, we look at mental health like, how do we fix them? But we never look at ourselves when we actually take a step back and live accordingly to what is aligned with our heart. We change our mental health. It has a ripple effect and changes our mental health really quickly. And so what is actually killing us from inside and killing us is us trying to fit in a system that doesn't actually serve us at all. And what we're seeing right now is that ripple effect, co-creating in all of our people and across the board, that the reality is the system, the structure, the framework is actually what's keeping people unwell. But that's never a conversation that is brought to the table. Never a conversation. I think that's all I need to say. So let's see what the oracles have to say. Let's see what the Oracle of Delphi has to say. Oh, that wasn't where I thought that this was going. But anyway, it never is when you work with spirit. The galactic energy that is the galactic energy that is coming through right now into the collective is really, really potent. And there's going to be bigger conversations around UFOs and discoveries over the next 6 months is what I also want to say too. And when I talk about galactic energy, I have my own light council, light beings that work with me, and I tend to channel Arcturian energy. Some people are Palladium, sometimes I do Palladium, but that's the energy that I'm normally got around me. This is interesting. These two were not the cards that I thought were going to come. So this is the energy for individuals, is what Spirit is saying to me, for the collective consciousness as us as individuals for this week that will help guide us. The first card is this beautiful card. It's called Love Maker. It's a blossoming. I feel like this is the energy individually that you need to step into around the new moon. When I think, you know, we're in Venus, we've got I think Leo's in Venus at the moment. So it's all about relationships. It's about you loving yourself. It's very much about stepping away from relationships, being more aligned to an authentic relationship with self. When I feel into this card, this is a bigger conversation around being open to receive and allowing yourself to be this week in the energy that is around you, rather than feeling like you have to keep trucking on, you know, give yourself enough love and self-love and compassion to be okay about where you're at. Acknowledge that so you move through it a lot quicker, so you can step out and start planting the seeds of what you're actually co-creating. The energy for this card too is what I want to say. You know, when I feel into this card, Leo energy and where we're moving into is around, you know, how are you going to lead your light? How are you going to shine the light on you? You are at that essence of soul of that, like, you know, blossoming, that growing into and a deepening into another layer of co-creation with the divine feminine. That is what I get from this card for the collective. Also, as weird as it sounds, there might be an announcement of a love child. This could be around a celebrity. Oh, yeah, I get that really strongly. Celebrity, a love child. Get royal family energy when I connect to that. A surprise, something out of the blue. This has got lawyer energy. Courts is what I'm being told. But let's just see what it is for individuals first. I feel like this card, this is strategize. I feel like this card is about you stepping into your wise self, starting to console and ask more and connect more to what you're needing rather than what you're wanting. And it feels like to me, when I connect to this card, everything is waiting to come through. You just need to be asked and open enough to receive it, which is quite interesting because that's what that card's about too. Receive energy. I think this is about things are going to drop in intuitively. Things are going to drop in. And, you know, this is the energy around co-creation and the new energy that's coming forward. When I connect to this with the collective, I think there's going to be, I get justice, the word justice coming forward. There might be a court case announcement, truth, this is global. This has got a real big connection to America. This is connected to America. Because I feel like it's a ruling. A ruling's going to be announced, but I'm not sure what I'm talking about when I say that. A ruling's going to be announced. Yeah, this is definitely connected to America. I get the Senate. That's the energy I get. Something is going to be announced, and it's going to then bring forward a change in the law. But it's what people have been waiting for is the energy that I keep getting. It's what people are waiting for from us here in New Zealand as a collective. Yeah, this has got law energy. This could even be around us too. I get an announcement. There's an announcement. It's going to come out of the blue. It's going to be a surprise. It's not going to be this week. It's going to be the end of next week, like midway through next, midway through next week. Because because I get a celebration. I hope all of that makes sense. Have a phenomenal day. Like and share, and enjoy.